Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Sam, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-Step System to Pass the TOEFL IBT. And you made a comment over at my website on one of my web pages, so let's take a look at what you said. You say, I am going to do, and what I'm going to do as I read it, I'm going to actually make some corrections, so this helps me get more familiar with your writing. So I'm going to do a master's degree in the USA shortly. Okay. I think you need a new sentence here to avoid that comma splice. You say, this is really having some problems here. You can't use the present perfect tense to talk about an action that has a beginning and end in the past. So I think this is what you're trying to say. I was in the UK 8 years ago, taking some English courses, but it has been a long time. And that is correct, I think, but using the present perfect there is okay. So, but it's been a long time. Maybe use the word however here. Since I am a geek programmer and WordPress expert, maybe say which requires me to read and write English for most of my websites. Maybe here, instead of the word so, you want to be a little more formal. Do your courses, can's not going to work. Will your courses be enough for me to learn and then pass the TOEFL exam? Okay. I got it. So let's look at it one more time. I was concentrating a lot on your word choice, your sentence structure, and all those things. You said, I'm going to do a master's degree in the USA shortly. I was in the UK 8 years ago taking some English courses, but it has been a long time. However, since I'm a geek programmer and WordPress expert, which requires me to read and write English for most of my websites, therefore, will your course be enough for me to learn and then pass the TOEFL exam? I'm going to say 80% yes on that and 20% no. Why am I saying that? I mean, it's obvious by looking at your writing here, you got some serious issues, but one thing I want to comment on, you probably noticed that this website is powered by WordPress, right? So you can probably look at my website right now and tell me everything I'm doing wrong. I'm sure I'm doing thousands of things wrong, but don't worry about that for right now. Okay, so I'm going to say that there's a lot of things you want to do right now. Now, what you're not telling me is what TOEFL score you want to get. I'm assuming you want to score at least 80 or 81 out of 120. That's what most graduate programs require, a minimum of 80 or 81. And I'm guessing right now that your TOEFL score, based on your writing, is probably between 40 and 60 out of 120. So you got a long ways to go. Now, what you didn't ask me is how long will it take you to reach your goal? And you're probably looking at several months. My best guess is probably 3 to 6 months of very serious study, I think, before you'll have your score close to 80 or 81 out of 120. That would be my best guess right now. My recommendation for you is for the first 1 to 3 months, I want you to go through the vocabulary, pronunciation, and the grammar sections of my course. Do this first. I don't care how long it takes. You need to build your basic English first. Number 2, then you can complete the reading, the listening, and the reading sections of my course. You can do that, and that'll probably take you another 1 or 2 months. You're probably looking at least 3 months just to go through these first 2 steps. Then you can go through the speaking and the writing sections of my course. You didn't really mention speaking, but look, I think that if you're going to improve your English, you want to be serious about it, work on all of your English proficiencies, not just writing or reading, right? So I think if you can do this, I think when you join my online TOEFL course, you can go to onlinetoeflcourse.com, click on the join button, and then you can go through these first 3 sections here, and this is going to put you in the right direction. Now, what you can do if you get a little bit impatient is maybe every 2 or 3 months of your study, you can complete a full-length IBT practice test. I think this is also very helpful for you. Why do you want to do that? I can think of 3 reasons. Number 1, you want to be familiar, you want to get more familiar with the structure and the format of the TOEFL exam. So when you take a full-length IBT 5-hour practice test, guess what? You'll get used to how the test works, the kinds of questions you'll be asked, and so on. Number 2, you get a chance to mark your progress. How close are you to your TOEFL goal? For example, do you want to get 80 or 81 or 90 or 100? When you take the full-length IBT practice test, you can see how close you are to your goal. Now, the third benefit of taking a full-length IBT practice test, believe it or not, is you develop the strength and the stamina needed to complete a 5-hour English test. It's not easy to concentrate in a new language for 5 hours. But if you do a practice test, you get to learn how to do that before taking the actual TOEFL exam. All right, Sam, so those are my comments for you. Like I said, you're probably looking at about 3 to 6 months, I think, before you will have the English to reach your goal. That would be my best guess right now. Now, once you become one of my students, at no extra cost, you can complete up to 30 independent and integrated speaking practice tests every month. You can also complete up to 30 writing practice tests each month. And I will give you scores accordingly. Right after you take it, you'll get a score usually the day after. Whenever you have questions, email me, or you can make a comment where you made your comments here. And I will definitely answer your questions. All right? Anyway, thank you for your comments and for your questions, and all the best to your high-scoring TOEFL success. I'm going to make one change here. This one is the way that you wrote it. I think is going to be better because we want to join these 2 ideas together with a coordinating conjunction. Now wait a minute. How about this? I'm a geek programmer and WordPress expert, which requires me to read and write English for most of my websites. Maybe then use a period. And then, therefore, and make this a question. So I think that's going to be better there. So that way we have our good sentence structure. In this case, you have a complex sentence using I am a geek program and WordPress expert. Then you have your dependent clause here, which requires me to read and write English. And then we begin a new sentence because this sentence is a question, and it's a little bit awkward to combine a question with a statement by using a comma. That creates in writing what we call a mixed construction. Anyway, sorry to put this at the very end of your video, but I wanted to make that correction before I produce this video.